Elon Musk has used illegal drugs, worrying leaders at Tesla and SpaceX. Some executives and board members fear the billionaire's use of drugs, including LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, mushrooms, and ketamine, could harm his companies. First of all, sounds like a fun guy. Elon Musk's drugs use is the latest headache for Tesla's board.
The journal cites witnesses saying Musk has used LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, and psychedelic mushrooms, often at private parties. Musk said in August he had a prescription to use ketamine as an antidepressant. Musk didn't respond to requests for comment.
So he did not respond for requests, but he went very, very public with this whole thing by stating, TMZ has vastly higher standards than the Wall Street Journal, actually. So let me tell you actually what the Wall Street Journal said and then what Elon's overall responses were. Elon Musk and his supporters offer several explanations for his contrarian views, unfiltered speech, and provocative antics. They're an expression of his creativity or the result of his mental health challenges or fallout from his stress or sleep deprivation. Now, before we get into the rest of this, I want to make one thing very specifically clear. On an individual level, I understand. Elon Musk might not be your cup of tea. You might find him a bit prickly. You might find him a bit inappropriate. You might not like how he is a contrarian. But if you cannot admit that he is a net good for humanity, you're just being ridiculous. He is the definition of progress. Now, I get it. You might not like him individually, but if you cannot admit the immense progress and the immense net positive add he is for all of us, you're just being unreasonable at a certain point. In recent years, some executive and board members at his companies and others close to the billionaire have developed a persistent concern that there is another component driving his behavior: his use of drugs, which you're about to find out was not maybe fully agreed with when they actually talked to board members. And they fear that Tesla and SpaceX chief executives' drugs use could have major consequences, not just for his health, but also the 6 companies and billions in assets he oversees, according to people familiar with Musk and the companies. The world's wealthiest person has used LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, and psychedelic mushrooms, often at private parties around the world where attendees sign non-disclosure agreements or give up their phones to enter. And Musk has previously even smoked jazz cabbage in public and has said he has a prescription for the psychedelic-like ketamine. Obviously, the first part of that referring to Joe Rogan and the thing that is now a classic internet meme. In 2018, for example, he took multiple tabs of acid at a party he hosted in LA. The next year, he partied on magic mushrooms at an event in Mexico. In 2021, he took ketamine recreationally with his brother, Kimball Musk, in Miami at a house party during Art Basel. He has even taken illegal drugs with current SpaceX and former Tesla board member Steve Jurvetson. So that's what the Wall Street Journal is reporting on. Now let's see what the internet actually came up with. So if you look at this account, great account, whole Mars catalog, kind of breaking down some of the interesting aspects of it. The one that I found most interesting is Musk did not respond for comment. An attorney for Musk, Alex Spiro, said that Musk is quote unquote regularly and randomly drug tested by SpaceX and has never failed a test. Spiro, who said he represents Tesla, added in response to detailed questions that there are other false facts in the article, but did not detail them. I don't understand why mainstream media believes that they are entitled to a response. If the lawyer doesn't want to respond, if Elon doesn't want to respond, we all know that mainstream media takes whatever you say and they're going to spin it to make you look even worse. So why would you respond right there? They didn't respond. So they assume the lack of response is the admission of guilt. Blows my mind. But anyway, then you had Elon following up. After the one puff on Rogan, I agreed at NASA's request to do 3 years of random drug testing. Not even trace quantities were found of any drugs or alcohol. Wall Street Journal is not fit to line a parrot cage for bird crap. So right there, we have one story from the Wall Street Journal basically making it seem like Elon Musk is a chronic, rampant drug user. But then when you start to actually check the story, the scoreboard of what's actually going on, you're going to realize that ever since the Joe Rogan appearance, where yes, he did smoke the jazz cabbage, all of a sudden NASA's like, hey man, we're going to need you to start doing drug tests. They did it for 3 years and nothing was ever found. So it is kind of interesting. Why didn't the Wall Street Journal include that with NASA? And NASA saying, yeah, no, we've never found anything. A little bit interesting, but hang on, it gets even better. I always thought Elon Musk lived in a $50,000 house in Boca Chica, but it turns out he lives rent-free in the heads of mainstream journalists. Obviously, there's always going to be a sense of comedy to all of this, and really the internet did particularly run with this one, but it kind of starts to beg a more serious question. The media is harder on Elon Musk for smoking one puff on Joe Rogan's show 3 years ago than it was on the Biden administration when cocaine was found in the White House. It's a joke, but it's only funny because of how serious that is. So the mainstream media is losing their mind that Elon Musk, how is it possible that a guy who's such a contrarian, a guy who breaks all the rules, is also one of the most influential and the richest person on the planet? They hate it. It drives them crazy. They don't understand because they're not following the rule book that they created, and they get mad whenever you don't follow their rule book. But then this is also just true here. They found cocaine with the Biden administration, and like, yeah, no way we're going to be able to find out who did that. And we forgot about it already. And this, in my mind, just truly shows the biased nature of what mainstream media has become. And it also is just furthering my belief of why mainstream media is dying. I truly, undoubtedly believe that mainstream media is dying, and all of a sudden you have individual people who are garnering fairly their own following because people resonate with them and what they're saying and how they say it, and it's, let's be honest, just more trustworthy. And to wrap this all up, the more X grows, the more frequent media attacks on Elon will happen. Reason: traditional media is a direct competitor to X. To be expected, they will stop at nothing to destroy X, aka Twitter. This is what it is. Yes, maybe they have some personal qualms. Maybe they just don't like how Elon behaves. Maybe they don't like him as a person. But in reality, I think it's just a business decision. And this is for all mainstream media. They realize, think about it. When's the last time you went to mainstream media for a breaking story? I cannot name the last time I was like, oh, let me go see what mainstream media company, whatever, XYZ is saying about this. No, I go to Twitter and I go to the accounts that I trust. And I'm like, all right, are they talking about it? Are they talking about it? That's because if you want breaking news, obviously Twitter is going to be the fastest. And recently we're finding out that obviously if you want accurate news, Twitter, not always accurate. Of course, there's false stories. I'm not here in a la land pretending that it's just like it's always 100% perfect. No, there are aspects of X and Twitter that is accessible. Of course, there's asshats on it. But relative to mainstream media, when they're by definition bought and paid for, of course, that's going to start to resonate with people of why they don't want to be paying attention to mainstream media, and it's going to drive traffic to exact platforms such as Elon Musk's X. So to me, in my mind, this is such an obvious attack to try to discredit what he is associated with to basically save their own bottom line. And you can believe me, you don't have to believe me, but if you look at the ratings, if you look at the revenue dollars, if you look at any important financial metric related to mainstream media, it is just withering away on the vine. And then there's other independent-esque forms of media, really social media, that are continuing to take off. So am I surprised that Elon Musk is being attacked? No. Do I think that this will continue? Without a doubt. And in reality, I think we all have to just do like 10 seconds of due diligence to realize really what game is being played, to realize that there's a high probability, we can't say this certainly, but a high probability that what the mainstream media is doing is protecting their own bottom line, and they'll try to take down Elon Musk in the interim just to basically keep lining their own pockets.